Okay, what's the funniest moment on set that you've had?
Ooh. Oh my gosh. Okay, the first one that I thought of immediately, and there've been so many. We're gonna hang out, but I'm gonna think of like 200 more. Um, there's I did one called Mr. Hill's Adorable Wife, and it was like the second
Yeah.
one I ever did. So I was
That was
still getting
Jesse?
used to the style. Yes, with Jesse.
Yeah.
And we had this incredible director, Hector. And there was this moment in the script. I don't know why it was written like this. And the writers were incredible, and I had the best time on that. And I think the final product is amazing. But there's this one scene where the grandma's in bed and she's like dying, and because she got ill somehow, and my character's like, "Oh, I can fix this," even though she's not a doctor at all.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna make this concoction
Yeah.
and it will heal grandma." And so I leave and I come back and my line is so I give it to her and she's good for a second and then she starts getting worse and she's like seizing
Yeah.
and there's foam and they're like, "What did you give her?" And I was like, "Well, I gave her bone poison."
Yeah.
And so I think there's maybe something in the translation that was like it meant medicine, but it translated
Yeah.
to poison or something. And the director just thought it was the funniest thing, and he wouldn't let me change the line to
Oh,
medicine. And
oh,
so I think I posted a small clip of this because someone
yeah.
took a video of our whole rehearsal doing that.
Yeah.
And good with we were at a point in the day where we're all just exhausted, but in
Yeah.
like goofy mode.
Yeah.
Um, so we were just reading this scene and we couldn't remember our lines. And then all of a sudden I'm talking about poisoning my grandma and the whole room was like cackling.
Oh.
Like just the entire crew for some reason was watching this rehearsal and just dying. And the director was getting such a kick out of making me say poison and all of that. So it's like it's somewhat of a had to be there moment, but
Yeah.
it was just when you're all in a loopy, crazy mood and you've been working a million days in a row and you're on
Yeah.
hour 11, I think a lot of that can come out.
Mm.
And yeah. And there were
I know
some sets
exactly
like,
that scene. That was a good vertical. So
oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
thank you. I know we had so much fun. Um, Also on the military one for Dreamy Short, Ben is like the funniest person ever. And he would just crack like in every scene. Like you just see him start to smile, or like his character makes me laugh. And there was a
Yeah.
scene where I have to be like sobbing and I'm really upset at him and mad at him, and he has this like pampering face mask on and and he was trying to be so serious and neither of us could get it together at all. So I ended up sobbing just from laughing. And they were like, "Guys, we got to get the shot. Please keep it together." And I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I'm trying so hard not to laugh." So it's just little moments like that, I think.
Cam's funniest moment was the umbrella scene with you and him.
I just talked about that in my last interview, so I didn't want to use that one, but
Yeah.
oh my gosh, you took that like a champ. For anyone who doesn't know, I play a fencer in our upcoming
Yeah.
show. And so I burst in and I'm mad at him and I have an umbrella in my hand and I'm using it to like threaten him with my fencing moves.
Yeah.
And we went over the stunt a bunch. It was perfect. It was awesome. And then like the umbrella got hit or snagged on something. So when I like went to lunge forward and miss him, it
You
got him
got
like
him.
square. It got him like right there. And both of us knew how hard it was, and we were like,
Mm.
"Oh my God." I thought like it could be so bad. And no one
Yeah.
else knew, and they were like, "Okay, let's go again. Meg, are you okay? It's fine." I was like, "Guys, it was so bad." But he was like, "No, let's keep going. We got it. It's great." And I was like, "Mom, please take a breath."
Oh, funny. He was like, she got me right in the boob. And then
Yeah,
she's
right
like,
there.
Meg, are you okay? He's like, what about me?
The stunt person, because I think I was like in shock about it because I take stunts very seriously and never want anyone
Mm.
to get hurt ever. And I stabbed him, like I kebabbed him. And the stunt person then came up to us and was like, "Man, you doing okay? You good to go for another one?" And I'm like, "I'm fine.
Yes.
I don't know how he is. But he was totally fine. We gotta find that footage somewhere though, because
I need to
it's
see that.
so funny. Both of us freaked out. I was like hugging him. It was so rough, but he took it like a champ, honestly.
Yeah. Oh. Every time when I watch that vertical, I'm just gonna know that now, and I'm gonna be like, oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Just know he was in pain.
Oh. Okay. How do you make similar roles feel unique?
Hmm. Yeah, great question. I think adding subtleties to based on their backstory. Uh, I've been trying with characters more recently to add more because I think it's more interesting than just being like sad victim baby to like have grit and to have sass. So I've been trying to incorporate that where I can. But to
Mhm.
differentiate between parts, it's all about backstory to me and then how that can lend itself to how she's behaving and reacting towards characters now.
Yeah.
Um, because that's obviously I'm not going to put on any big character changes for myself because it's all somewhat steeped in realism. It's not like I'm playing a dragon or whatever. So it's tough and it definitely I want to keep it fresh and I think I always will just go back to the backstory. And then trying to add toughness where it lends
Mm.
itself. And sometimes I'll have like creative argument, not really arguments, but
Yeah.
creative arguments with directors that I'm like, no, she wouldn't back down here. She would like want to stand up and fight back. Uh, and sometimes that's not the scene, sometimes it is, and they'll bring
Mm.
me back to what makes sense for the character as well. And the directors for these are just the most wonderful. So um, yeah, keeping it honest to the story and the character, but also wanting to make it interesting and not just be sad victim.
Yeah. How do you
Because a lot
handle
of this
a
does.
script if it doesn't have much backstory?
You write it. You totally
Yep.
write it. And Jen, who is me and Cam's director on that one, I've worked with her twice. She worked with me on uh, this Billionaire CEO Secret Obsession with Mark.
Yep.
And she's so, so, so wonderful. And she always sends a little bit of a backstory, because sometimes the script doesn't tell you,
Mm.
maybe it's tells you that your father has passed, but it doesn't explain what happened to your mom. So we have
Yeah.
to dive into that because that's going to influence how she reacts to certain things in certain moments
Mm.
and why she gets triggered more by this prank versus this prank or this bully versus this bully. And because that one was a high school kind of nemesis-y
Yeah.
prankster vibe. Um, so Jen writes a backstory for her leads, which is awesome.
That's cool. I
And
like that.
from for a lot of them, yeah, I'll just go in, I'll read the whole script multiple times, and then I will uh, use what is in there to form a backstory myself. And then if it doesn't make
Yeah.
sense, I'll sometimes run that by the director, and if it doesn't make sense, they'll tell me, and if it does, we'll run with it. So yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good. Okay. What are some challenges you face on set that others outside the field might not recognize?
Mm. I think I'm gonna say probably what everyone says, and
Mm.
that you get like one take,
Yeah.
which is crazy, and you're doing so much in such a short amount of time for these. Uh, and so I'm filming a feature in Texas beginning in about a week, and we're filming like 5 pages a day or so, or six, and it's just I get to really settle into the character. I get to do the work, but feel like I have enough time to drop in
Yeah.
and be honest with it. And then if there's a take that I didn't feel like I was really there or listening, I can ask for another one, or they'll probably say,
Mhm.
let's do another one. Uh, and so there's less pressure to just be on
Yeah.
immediately in a new scene, call action. You don't know where you just came from. You don't know where your character's going after that because
Yeah.
you film out of order. So it's like I try to always look at the scene before the scene we're about to film so that I have the context going in and it makes
Yeah.
sense storyline wise, how I enter the scene emotionally, but sometimes there's just no time. It's like so
Yeah.
it's tough as a creative and as someone who um went to school for this and it's what I love and I think we have so much power as creatives and can tell stories that need to be told. So it's frustrating sometimes when you feel like there's not enough time to do that to the
Yeah.
best of our ability.
Yeah. In feature films, do you film them like in order?
No, it's still out of
No.
order, but you get plenty of
Yeah.
time usually. But you still get plenty of time to make sure contextually you're in the right place,
Yeah.
mentally. And yeah, you just settle into it. And then it takes longer for, or the crew has longer to set up for different scenes and to light them and all of that. The crews on these verticals are incredible, like just
Mhm.
beasts. Like they're awesome because I don't know how
Yeah.
they make it look as good as they do in the time that they're given. But yeah, that's something else about features is while they're setting up, I have time to do my work and make sure I'm totally prepped for the next scene and talk with the director and talk with the scene partner and make sure we're all on the same page and really settle into it.
As much as I have respect for the actors and actresses, the crew is just like a well-oiled machine. So even when
Crazy.
you guys get to wait for your scenes or you're waiting, there's somebody just running around all the time doing something.
Running around. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the most insane thing. And they're
Yeah.
awesome.
Mm,
Like I could not point to a crew that I've worked with and maybe I'm really lucky in this regard, but I have no complaints about any of the crews. They're incredible what they're doing. And they're on set
that's
just
good.
as long as we are, but they don't have breaks.
Yeah, that's crazy,
Yeah,
but they're great and it wouldn't happen without them. So, yeah.
100%.
Okay. Is there anything you want anybody to know about you or your work?
Mm, tough. Uh, I think just that I really, and it sounds like cliche and maybe pretentious, but I really want to make this work matter
Yeah.
in the grand scheme. And I was so lucky to be able to start my career in this in a theater space where they were doing work that I could really see it changing the world one audience at a time. So I really want to do work that matters. And I'll just, one of the plays that I did when I was in that company member contract
Yeah.
was written by the artistic director of that theater, and it's called From the Fires, Voices of the Holocaust. And there are other plays that we did that focus more on bullying. So we got the macrocosm of a huge, devastating historical event that we can't even put into words.
Mm,
Um, and then there's the microcosm of us touring these plays to schools and talking about bullying and
yeah.
accepting each other and accepting each other's differences. And
Mm,
so, and then we would do talkbacks and Q&As after the show, and people could ask questions if they were curious or express how it made them feel and how it may have changed their perspective walking in someone else's shoes who in a textbook you can read a statistic, but when you're watching someone
mm,
portray it in front of you and you're being forced to walk in their shoes, that's different. And so I feel lucky enough to have seen the power of
yeah.
acting and of storytelling, and I want to keep going with that. And sometimes I'm not going to be doing a project that is going to make much of a huge difference in terms of compassion and in the world, or but I think still in a way that I can't see it is because people are still
Yeah.
being forced to walk in someone else's shoes and they're still choosing to do that and they're still feeling empathy for my character. So if I'm doing it truthfully, that's going to happen better.
Yeah.
I don't take the power lightly, and I want to keep going with that because I had a taste of it, and
Yeah.
and I think film is just as powerful in that way.
Well, I think every storyline at least resonates with somebody,
Yeah,
so
good.
it's
And even if
meaningful
it's
to
helping
somebody.
people through, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've had messages and on Instagram and whatever that people are like, I'm going through this really hard time in my life, and this recently happened to me, and
Mm,
watching your show is getting me through, and it's like on repeat. And that is,
mm,
I can't even explain. I
mm.
can't possibly explain what that means to me.
Well, peace to my heart and the nemesis my nemesis to my repeats. They're my
Oh,
repeats.
yay. I
Yeah.
love that.
I
I
love
love
them.
that.
So
Me too. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely proud to be doing work that people feel that way about and had also incredible times on those sets. So
Mm,
it's fueling me in that way too. And
yeah,
obviously Shay and Ben are incredible and
yeah,
making lifetime connections and so I love this work so much and I feel the beauty and the power of it as well.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, this one isn't yours, but Quarterback Next Door is also one of my favorites that I have on
Yes, I've seen
repeat.
clips from that. People
Yeah,
love that one. I'm here for it. And I love those people, obviously. So,
yeah, they're great. They're great. Okay,
yeah.
what do you think makes a performance unforgettable?
Mm, unforgettable. Ah, I think not being afraid to go there, like emotionally, and yeah, I think when it's like you really see someone like settling into a character, and actually, I was just watching or it came up actually as an ad, the original Superstar one with Jackson and
Yep,
Ashley. And Ashley, even with like a baseball cap on, half her face is almost black. And then she is like so dropped in. And it's like
yeah,
so funny. And you're so there with her. And it's like charismatic. But then she obviously still goes for it in the more emotional scenes. So I think that's the kind of performance that will stick with someone is if they can relate to someone, they can relate to the
yeah,
character. The person's not afraid to get weird and gritty or ugly with it. And they can um, it's like you can tell they're not looking at themselves with a third eye. They're just going for
yeah.
it. They're just living. Um, yeah, I think that makes it unprepared. And just going there in the bigger scenes, the more emotionally taxing ones, not being afraid of those, diving fully in. So yeah.
Cool. Okay, if you could swap with one of your characters just for a day for fun, who would it be?
Oof, that is tough.
Mhm.
I would say, can I do one that's not out yet?
Yeah, go for it. I mean, I won't know
Okay.
what you mean, but I will eventually.
The one for Alto with Jackson that I've referred to more than once now because it was my most recent one, so it's fresh in
Yeah,
my mind, but also because it was a really special story. That character is like full cowgirl,
yeah,
and she's awesome. And
yeah,
she like will if someone's like challenging her, she'll get right up in their face. Um, she'll get sarcastic about it. The writing for it is just beautiful. Our
yeah.
screenwriter Jenny is so talented, and she was always on set, which is awesome.
Oh, that's
Um,
good.
and yeah, I think it's just to be badass, cowgirl, gritty, dirty. Like that was so
Mm.
fun. I would love to step into that.
Oh, good. All right, I have one more question. What does
Mhm.
a good day on set look like for you?
Mm. So much has to do with the camaraderie with the cast and crew, which
Yeah,
sometimes makes the shows that are in other like in Turkey it was hard to have that camaraderie with the crew because we had the language barrier.
yeah,
So when you step onto set or even when it starts in the makeup chair and with costumes and stuff, if you can joke with those people, then that is everything. So the ideal day is like step on a set, have um have some jokes with the makeup artist, uh greet your co-star, talk about your nights and if you got any sleep and kind of get connected in that way because you're about to have a big day together. And talk with the director about what we got coming up and then like dive in.
yeah.
I will say it, the makeup artists are like some of my favorite people ever.
Mm,
I just on the one with Cam, I worked with the makeup artist and her name is Laura and I swear to God she will be in my life forever. Um,
mm,
I love her so much. So stepping on set and like being greeted by someone like that and just joking around with someone like that, that is like that means everything. And then the DP, so when you actually step on set, when you've gotten fully ready with hair and makeup and wardrobe, costumes, I mean, uh, then you have the DP and you have the director and all these other creative voices entering your space or you're entering their space rather. Uh, and so if you can joke around with them too, and it all comes down to like just having a good time because
yeah,
you're with each other for 12 hours, you're doing an insane amount of work. So if you can like
yeah.
laugh through it a little bit, that totally
Mm.
makes all the difference. So then,
It would make it lighter. It would make it the day feel lighter.
yeah, so much
Mm.
lighter. And then you're like not trauma bonded, but you're really like you've bonded with these people because you've gotten something crazy done in
Mm.
an amount of time that shouldn't be possible.
Yes.
So so then the day would continue and really get into it, maybe have some uh powerful scenes that I feel really good about and get maybe more than one take, maybe two, three takes.
Mm.
Um, and and then have a fun lunch where everyone's sitting together at a big table and finish out the day, wrap on time or early,
Early's good.
and maybe grab a quick bite with some of the caster crew, and then head home, memorize lines, go to bed.
Yep. And then do the same thing the next day.
Yep.
Yep.
Repeat it all.
Oh, that's so good. Well, thank you so much for having this interview with me today. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you. I'm sorry if I'm a rambler, and it's early
I
kind of
love
for
it.
me, and I'm
Well,
jet
it's
lagged, so
nearly 10 p.m. for me. So, yeah.
but we'll do it again. I'll get my head in the game.
You're great. You're great.
It's
Thank
so
you
nice
so
to
much.
meet
I
you.
really
Sure.
appreciate it. So,
Thank you.
all right. I will talk to you very soon. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Oh, thank you so much. You too.
Thanks.
Bye, Kathy.